The next point, we should ensure whatever we see is clear.
That means work is being done, we can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hi learners, it's another awesome opportunity for us to learn, and I'm grateful that you're still with us, and I promise you would enjoy this other segment of computer studies where we'll be treating the topic input devices. From our previous lessons, we're able to come to terms with the fact that a computer is an electronic device that is capable of accepting data, processing data, and eventually sending out information under the control of some set of instructions which are called softwares or programs. So this is the fundamental, this is an important definition that every computer user or a computer study student should know. We are going to be considering just one aspect of the definition today, which is input device. For every computer to be able to process any information or any data given to it, there must be what we refer to as an input device. So the data or the information comes into the computer through the input device. And that is our place of interest this day. So I implore you to actually follow me and give me your rapt attention as we go through input devices. By the end of this class, we hope to be able to achieve the definition of an input device, to list the types of input devices we have, and eventually briefly explaining each of these input devices and how they work. Definition. Input devices, these are hardware components, that is, we could also call them computer peripherals, used to enter data, commands, programs, images, and other information to the computer system. These input devices, their major function is to accept data, programs, pictures, so on and so forth. Every information you need to send into the computer to be processed is what is received by the input devices. So their major function is accepting data, which is part of the definition of what a computer system does. So these input devices are used to accept data into the computer system. And we have a lot of examples. Among them, we have the keyboard, we have the mouse, we have the touchpads, we have scanners, we have microphones, we have joystick, we have card readers, we have light pens, digital camera, among others. So we'll be seeing each of these devices and how they function as input device. And learners, you have to know these examples because they are very important for exam purposes. You could be asked. Dash, for instance, are examples of input devices except. So your ability to know this is an input device gives you an edge to be able to solve or to answer such questions correctly. So to start with, we'll start with the keyboard. The keyboard is the most popular and common input device for entering textual data, instruction commands, and programs to the computer. The keyboard, just like I said earlier on, it's the most common input device. And you could see the picture right here, or a diagram, or how a keyboard looks like. There's almost no device that can function without a keyboard. Every computerized device has what we call a keyboard, where you type in information. Your phones, for instance, has keyboard. Whether you're using a touch screen, it has also a keyboard, which way you can input data. That is, you could type numbers if you want to make a call. You could type documents. You could copy and paste, and so on and so forth. All those are keyboards. Even on touchscreen phones or touchscreen iPads or any of these electronic devices. Then our laptops have what we refer to as keyboard, and you could see just the picture there. And this keyboard is made up of a lot of keys. It's made up of alphabetic keys, that is A to Z. It's also made up of the numeric keys, which is number 1 to 0 or to 9. Then we also have special keys that perform special functions, just like their name implies. We have the keys that performs copy. We have the control key. We have the enter key. We have the alt key. We have the caps lock key. We have different symbols, which eventually, when we come to explore keyboard as a device, we would see and understand the complete functionality of the keyboard as an input device. So, but you must note that the keyboard is the most popular input device. We all know it. And if you don't know it today, you're privileged to see one. This is a keyboard, and it's an input device. Secondly, we'll be considering the mouse. The mouse, it's actually it's an input device which is used to control the movement of the pointer in a GUI. That's the graphical user interface environment of every computer. It is used as a point and click device with the operating system and programs in the computer. The mouse is usually held in the hand or palm and rolled on a flat surface, which is called a mouse pad. The mouse was actually gotten from the name, if you know the most smallest rat, those very small, the mouse, the rat mouse we know it's very tiny, and from its shape, the mouse was actually derived from. And the mouse is almost like a mice. Or like the mice. You see it very tiny, and you could actually place your hands on, and you could roll. It has rollers, and you are able to move it around. You could point on devices. You could also point on documents. You can open a document, you double click. With the mouse, you edit. So it's an input device. It sends in signal and data and compute operations on the computer. You know, the mouse have actually saved us a lot of stress. In early years of the computer, when computer came in early, you know, for you to even open a folder, you needed a command to type on your keyboard to enable you open just a folder. And running other applications where the DOS were actually invoked, you do a lot. It was so hectic. You know, typing a lot of codes just to run instructions on the computer system. But all thanks to the mouse, it's just a point and click. Once you click, you're able to open your document. You're able to see whatsoever you want to do, and you can run every application just with your mouse. So it's a very, very important input device. In case you've not seen a mouse, we have one, which is this is a picture of a mouse. We have different types of mouse. But primarily, this is what we are considering today. Eventually, we would also dig deep and understand what a mouse is made up of and the different types of mouse we have. Thirdly, we have the touchpad. The touchpad is also an input device. It is an input device that is used on laptops to move the pointer on the monitors, like the mouse. It is a small, flat, rectangular pointing device sensitive to pressure and motion. So the touchpad is actually another device that performs the same thing with the mouse. Some people would call it the laptop mouse. Well, mouse comes in externally, but the touchpad comes with a laptop. You see it attached to the laptop. We have the picture here of a mouse pad, touchpad of a computer. It majorly comes with a laptop. For most desktop, you use your mouse to navigate your pointers. But for a laptop, you have multiple options. You can decide to use your mouse when you could attach it as an external device, as a peripheral through the USB port. And but you could also use what we call the touchpad. The touchpad has the right click and the left click, and you could roll around your pointers, open documents, run them, and actually do a lot of things with your touchpad, just as you could do with your mouse. Fourthly, we have what we call the scanner. Scanner, in most cases, my learners, students mistaken scanner to be an output device. It's not an output device. Scanner is what? An input device. In most cases, I've marked a lot of examinations where students are asked to list the examples of input device or output device, and they include scanner as an output device. Scanner is not an output device. Scanner is an input device that is used for imputing images in the graphic format into the computer. There are some scanner that can also read the text as images that may be converted into text files on the computer. So you need to note that the scanner acts just like a camera. It takes the picture, it takes the image, it takes whatsoever you intend to copy. For instance, you take a piece of paper or your credential. It's a hard copy, right? You have any credential which is a hard copy, and you want to have it sent as a soft copy, possibly to a client or whosoever you want to send it to as a soft copy. Remember, soft copy are what? Those very documents you cannot touch physically with your hands, which are inside the computer and could be moved and could be sent through the web or whatsoever the means you electronically. Let's just call them electronic copies. So soft copies of possibly your documents. If you only have the hard and you're being required to send the soft, what happens? You have to scan it. So you take it to a scanner, you place possibly your document, and you run a scan. The scanner becomes an input device because it's connected to the computer, and it enables or it captures that very document and send it into the computer as a soft copy or possibly a picture. So you have a replica of your document which is a hard copy. Now you have it on a soft background or a soft copy in your computer, and it's now very mobile. You can take it anywhere. You don't have to bother moving with your credentials from one state to the other. Once it's required of you, all you need to do is to check your scanned documents and forward them. So that's how a scanner acts as an input device. So it captures the data or whatsoever, the picture, whatsoever documents you want to send. Is it just a picture? Even just like I said earlier on, some of these scanners are able to capture textual. That means text. So you cannot just scan it, not just pictures or graphics. You could also capture text. And once you are able to capture them, they serve as data to be used or as information to the computer system. So that's what the scanner does. We have a picture of a scanner here. Yeah, it's open and closed. Normally you place your document and you close. Once you place it on the scanner, once it's closed, it reads to the computer and you're able to get your data in soft copy. We also have what we refer to as the microphone. The microphone is also used to capture sound, then saved as sound file on the computer. It is a device that converts sound waves into analog electrical signals. So when you speak from your voice, just like I'm speaking right now, a microphone serves as an input device in such a way that it accepts my voice, then it converts the voice, that's the wave of my voice, to what? A signal. It converts to what? Analog electrical signal, whereby the computer will be able to recognize. For people who do sing, when you go to a recording studio, you are able to sing, and how do your voices get into the computer and they are able to manipulate your voice and change it and make it better and send it out? It's because we have what we call the microphone. The microphone accepts your voice, your tone of voice, and sends it into what? The computer system. So the microphone now is serving as an input device, dishing what? Data or information into the computer system. And they come in different sizes, different shapes, and even your phone have what we call the mouthpiece. Yeah, whatsoever device is able to accept a voice wave and send it into the computer, then it's what is referred to as a microphone. We have some of the samples here. You could see we have on the screen, we have 2 different types of microphones and a lot of them. We have what we call the joystick. The joystick is a device that permits the user to move a picture, line, word, or cursor on a display screen by moving an upright rod connected to an input-output port on the computer. Just like you can see the joystick here, which is popularly known by a lot of children as analog. They call it analog, but the right name for it is what? The joystick. Joystick, it's what? It's an upright rod that is actually flexible. You could turn it a lot of ways, and it moves. It's also used in moving pictures, and it's commonly used by children or people who play games. On your control pads, you could actually see what we call the joystick. That very flexible pad you could turn up, right, left, center, and you move a lot with is referred to as what? The joystick. Card reader is also an input device. In the olden days, card readers were used to enter data into the computer from punch cards. Today, they are used chiefly for identification purposes. They read information that has been magnetically encoded on a plastic, such as the ATM card or an employee badge. Memory cards on phones are being read by what? Card readers. So we have typical examples. We have your ATM cards. In the ATM machine, there's a card reader that reads what? The information that is embedded inside your ATM card. Every information about you that's in that very little chip that is silver coated carries what? Information about you. So the ability of the ATM card to recognize its user or whosoever the owner of that very card is through what we refer to as what? A card reader. It identifies the information that is embedded inside the ATM card. Likewise, we have a memory card we use today in our phones. You discover that in your phones we have what? The bed whereby you put in your what? Your memory card. At that very point, information are being read from your card reader, from your memory card through what? The card reader into the computer system. So all of these informations and data could actually be gotten from what? The card reader. So we could also see sample of card readers here. They come in different form, different sizes. We have what we call the light pen. It is an input device in the shape of a pen with a light-sensitive device that can be used to enter data and instruction into the computer. There are two types of light pen. One type is used to draw on a special screen. The other type is used to read information from barcodes. And we could see them practically here. We have a light pen that you could just use to navigate around, to do a lot of sketching on your own. And we have the other one that is very sensitive. They are all sensitive. So the other one is used to what? To pick data or to open file or to run one or two things on the computer. We have the digital camera. The digital camera is a camera that takes video or still photographs of both digital images or by recording images through an electronic image sensor. And we also have pictures of digital cameras. We are very conversant with cameras, digital cameras that are used by photographers. You could actually, they accept, or how do they serve as input device because they capture your picture, and your picture is eventually sent into the computer. And we all know that most of, not like the days of old where we use what we call negatives. For us people that could actually relate to that, we use negatives. After snapshots, there are negatives that needed to be printed. But we have digital and highly placed cameras now that use diskettes. Some use what we call card readers, yes, memory cards. So you could snap a lot of pictures and save them inside your memory cards, which is on the camera. Then eventually you can use your USB cord, as you can see this camera has, and connect it to your computer and send it those pictures for further processing. So we can see how the digital camera serve as what? An input device. So learners, I'm very glad you've learned a lot. I'm very sure you've learned a lot from the computer input devices, which are very important devices without which no data could be accepted from or into the computer. So I would not leave you idle. I would want to keep you working. So I decided to leave you with an assignment. Number one assignment is, what is an input device? Number two, list 5 examples of input devices. And number 3, explain any 3 of the input devices listed above. That is in number 2. I come again. Number 1, what is an input device? Number 2, list 5 examples of input devices. Number 3, explain any 3 of the input devices listed above. That is in number 2. So I believe you have learned, and you could pick up references from this textbook, HIIT PLC, Computer Studies for Senior Secondary Education. You could also check on Advanced Computer Science for Senior Secondary School. And most importantly, or very common, you could go to Google. Google is your friend. For every computer student, Google is your friend. You could always check everything on Google and you could get relevant information on Google. Thank you. You could contact me on 080-364-20271. 080-364-20271. Keep learning and keep succeeding. God bless you.